Hi, I'm Jacqueline Stewart, joining you from the Academy Museum in Los Angeles. Welcome back to 31 Days of Oscar on TCM. Tonight we're shining a spotlight on Oscar-winning documentaries. At the 49th Academy Awards in 1977, playwright Lillian Hellman presented the Oscar for Best Documentary Feature. Before she announced the winner, she explained that she loved documentaries because, as she put it, when they are good, they are not only a high form of camera expression, but an important part of world history. And that's certainly true of the film that won the Oscar that evening. From 1976, it's Harlan County, U.S.A. The movie was directed and produced by Barbara Kopple, an ambitious filmmaker at the very beginning of her career. Kopple had apprenticed under other documentarians, including the Maysles brothers, but this was her first time making a film on her own. The project began when Kopple was listening to NPR and heard an important election that was taking place in a coal miners' union in Kentucky. She raised just enough money to bring a small crew down to follow the election. It soon became apparent that this vote was part of a much bigger story. She followed that story to Harlan County, Kentucky, where the coal miners in the local community were on strike because the corrupt owners of the Duke Power Company refused to let the miners unionize. Kopple and her crew arrived in Harlan County to find an active picket line, including the miners and their wives. And she stuck around to film the strike as it dragged on for the next 13 months. She spent time living with the local miners in their homes and earning their trust. And she continued to stand with them on the picket line, even when it meant putting herself in serious personal danger. The result is a documentary that's remarkably intimate, candid, and compelling, and it won the Academy Award. From 1976, here is Harlan County, U.S.A. Harlan County, U.S.A. was director Barbara Kopple's debut as a filmmaker. She worked tirelessly to raise enough money to finish the project, often going back to New York during the 13-month strike to get enough cash to keep the film going. When the movie won the Oscar for Best Documentary Feature, Kopple accepted, as she said, "On behalf of the miners of Harlan County, who took us into their homes, trusted us, and shared their love with us." She added, "It is their commitment and loyalty which is honored here tonight." When the ceremony ended, Kopple immediately called her friends back in Harlan County, and they were ecstatic. This was not the only time that Barbara Kopple's work won her the Best Documentary Academy Award. In 1990, she won again for American Dream, about a strike at a Hormel meatpacking plant in Minnesota. Up next is an Oscar-winning British documentary from 1995 about the life and famous diary of Anne Frank.
Next on TCM, Anne Frank Remembered, then Woodstock, the director's cut, and later Algiers. TCM rocks the Casbah tonight.